He said that Jesus Christ has risen, and he is the open door.
How you doing, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show, where we talk about life, we talk about liberty, we talk about the pursuit of happiness, and we show the world that us Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day, good week, wherever you're located, because remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Hope you're having a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to make it through the week, and a lot of stuff going on. Let me just say it like that. Very, very busy. Trying to make everything go very smoothly and all that stuff. And with all the news and everything happening this week, it is we have a lot to talk about in this episode. And I want to ask you a question. Will the third time be the charm? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have a new indictment of Donald Trump that we can talk about, that we knew what was coming. And this ain't the final one as well. We're probably going to have one from Georgia that's going to be somewhat in the same arena, or I guess you could say the same area of election interference. But we're going to talk all about that. We're also going to be talking about Mike Pence and a lot more others, a lot of other stories that I have lined up for the day. But before we get into that, I want to thank all of you for listening, for all you continue support of the Cajun Conservative Show. Everybody of the Cajun Conservative family, thank you. Love you guys. Please share the episode. Share it on your social media. Share it with your friends through text message, email, any way possible. Go to TikTok. Tell people about it. I'll greatly appreciate it. That helps out the show more than you know. Also, I would like to ask you, if you are a first-time guest, I want to say welcome to the Cajun Conservative family. We're always happy to have new people join in to this big family of conservatives. If you know, we accept all here at the Cajun Conservative Show. If you can also, if this is your first time and you love the content that you're listening to, please hit the subscribe or follow button depending on the platform you are listening on. Also, if you're listening on YouTube and Rumble, say Isaac, we don't get all your notifications. Well, that you got to hit that bell. But you might say as well, Isaac, we like watching you, but we're just too busy. We can't sit down for an hour. Hey, you don't have to do that. You can go ahead and do like a lot of people, listen on the podcast side, Apple, Google, Spotify, whatever one you want to choose. You can go ahead and listen to us while you're driving in your car. Don't watch us, please, because that's way too dangerous. We don't want you to go ahead and get into any accidents. I don't want to have that on my conscience. So just go ahead and put it through the car radio. You can listen to it like a lot of people. I know one particular listener says he has an hour drive going back and forth to work. That's when he hears yours truly. And you can go ahead and find us, like I said, on Apple, Google, Spotify. You know, we're also on other platforms. You can always find us at the Cajun Conservative Show.wordpress.com. You can find all our links and everything like that. Also ways to help out the podcast if you choose. All right, so let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we have an indictment of the former president, President Donald Trump. I think he's supposed to appear in court in the coming days, if not the release of this episode. I'm pulling up the article right now. But ladies and gentlemen, look, this is the third indictment of Donald Trump in a little over 4 months. So so he's supposed to appear in Washington. Trump is supposed to be in court in D.C. for the arrangement Thursday, August 3rd at 4 o'clock. At the time of this recording, running a little late today, but at the time of this recording, that is 2 hours away of the time of this recording. But ladies and gentlemen, the third indictment in so many months. Now, this isn't the final indictment. We have one that's going on in Georgia. A grand jury is looking into Donald Trump again. He did for election interference. This is what it involved the governor and the Secretary of State. He was asking Brian Kemp and others to find 10,000 votes. That's all they had to find was 10,000 votes. And Donald Trump was asking them to look into election fraud accusations that he had made. So there will be another grand jury that will indict Donald Trump. This is the thing about grand juries, just to give you a little bit of insight on that. if you're on a grand jury can go ahead and indict a ham sandwich. They can go ahead and put a crime on anybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, when people use this, oh, that Donald Trump got indicted, just not once, just not twice, but 3 times. Oh, this is bad. And I hear people on the left, when they argue all this stuff about Donald Trump, they tell me, Isaacs, there's so much evidence that Donald Trump did so much stuff wrong that it is easy for them to indict. Well, not necessarily, depending on who's on the grand jury. Do they like Trump? Well, you know, is there a special motive behind the special counsel? As we already know, that Jack Smith, just in his couple of months investigating Donald Trump, has spent $9 million. When he asked, what can I investigate? They told him, investigate everything. Even if it don't involve election interference, if it doesn't involve Donald Trump's classified document case, look under every rock, look under behind every door. Just go ahead and look for something. And this is why he has been given unlimited funds to go ahead and look into Donald Trump. And I asked this a couple of weeks ago, who is the special counsel that is looking into Joe Biden? I asked someone that the other day, and they're familiar with politics, and they're like, we don't know. Well, because that special counsel is just sitting in an office making its money, not a lot of money, but last time I reported on the spending was about $2 million within 4 months. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole Durham investigation that lasted over 2 years, I think only cost $4 million. The Mueller investigation into Russian collusion. You remember the hoax that was discovered by Mueller, but that wasn't a hoax. Donald Trump interfered with Russia some way, shape, or form. Ladies and gentlemen, that investigation didn't take $9 million, but these investigations into Donald Trump is costing the government a lot of money. Why? Because the whole sole purpose, there's 2 purposes for these grand juries and these trials that Donald Trump is about to go through. But the main one is to stop Donald Trump from running in 2024. He's in the primaries right now. He's prepping up for a debate, which I saw a report that he's possibly going to show up for the Fox News debate that's going to happen in a couple of weeks. But ladies and gentlemen, the whole sole purpose of these investigations is to stop Donald Trump, is to sway his voters the other way. Now, people might say, if you look into the 4 counts that were that are pushed on Donald Trump, the 4 counts, they are, well, with 4 federal charges, including conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct the official proceeding, obstruction of attempts to obstruct official precinct, and conspiracy against rights. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's going on with this. Now, like I said, this is not no shock. Like the first indictment, I was not surprised that they went ahead and indicted Donald Trump. I knew it was going to happen, because, ladies and gentlemen, the president, the Democrats, and anyone that's on the left will say that this is for justice. It's not for justice. This is to stop Donald Trump. This is to stop Donald Trump from running in 2024. Because I have an article here that talks about Jack Smith's persecution of Donald Trump. He has major legal First Amendment problems, a lot of legal experts have said. Legal experts react to the former president Donald Trump's stern indictment Tuesday, sounding the alarm of how the indictment against his alleged attempt to overturn the 2020 election perceives protective speech. Trump was charged, one of them, I think, was like inciting violence or something like that. Trump was charged Tuesday with 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the United States, 1 count, and we mentioned all the counts earlier. George Washington University law professor Jonathan Torley said Smith issued the first criminal indictment of alleged disinformation. If you take a red pen to all of the material presumably protected by the First Amendment, you can redact much of the indictment to hockey. Okay, he said, I feel that Mar-a-Lago indictment was strong. This is the inverse. So what's happening here with these indictments, ladies and gentlemen, it's so thin line. Let me just say that. And this is one of the reasons why I say this is all politically motivated. It's very thin line. And for them to go ahead and accuse Donald Trump of doing it, look, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to prove the point that Donald Trump was the center of it. That Donald Trump wrote January 6th down on a pen and paper, and he gave it to people, and he said, look guys, this is what we're gonna do at the Capitol. If Mike Pence don't do what we told him to do, we're gonna rush the Capitol, we're gonna take our country back. And that's what they want people to go ahead and have the understanding. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump called for a protest on January 6th, but he was not endorsing violence, none whatsoever. He told the people, go to the Capitol, make your voices heard peacefully and patriotically. In this indictment, they mentioned him talking about going to the Capitol, but just like the January 6th committee, they left that part out. So, ladies and gentlemen, this indictment is all to stop Donald Trump from running in 2020. And look, a second point of this, why are they throwing all these indictments out there? Why are they trying to... What are they doing? Why are they doing this all at one time? Well, because, ladies and gentlemen, to stop Donald Trump, it would go ahead and mess up his schedule coming up in 2024. They want Donald Trump so busy that he's going to be so ragged that he would not be able to run in 2024. Why do I say that? Because I think this is, well, I'm going to, from KPEL, I can't think of his name at the moment. He plays in the afternoon. Joe Cunningham. Excuse me. Joe Cunningham is a local radio affiliate here in Lafayette, Louisiana, and he said he made some interesting points on this right here. Donald Trump is spending money out the wazoo right now. He said something like, I think it was 500-something million that Donald Trump had in his war chest before the indictments. Now, since the indictments, he only got about $31 million, and his money is being spent out of the wazoo. Now, we know that he got to go speak. We know that he got to go do things like that. I don't know if they're spending the money on their campaign funds on legal fees, but ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump's spending a lot of money on these legal fees. And for him to stay in the race, he has to spend money and he has to keep his name out there. Now, not as much, he don't have to do as much as the other candidates like Ron DeSantis, Tim Scott, and Nikki Haley and all of them, because ladies and gentlemen, I'm expecting that these indictments are going to go ahead and boost him up in the polls again, because everybody thinks this is a political stunt. And look, this benefits Trump. Don't get me wrong. These indictments benefit Donald Trump, but the left, without trying to smear his name in the mud, they're also trying to run him low on money. They're trying to tie him up with court costs so he can't go campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'm going to say it again from the beginning. All these indictments, and you can be on the left shaking your head, no, we just want justice now. No, y'all don't want justice. This is to stop Donald Trump and to run his name through the mud. Why? Because Donald Trump came up against the establishment when he ran. He was an outsider. He was not supposed to win. It was supposed to be Hillary Clinton, where Hillary Clinton would have took us to the downfall. Hillary Clinton should be thanking Donald Trump because she ain't marked as the worst president on earth now. It is Joe Biden. But Donald Trump came in, and Donald Trump changed everything, and he showed the world and America that the left's policies are driving us down the wrong path. But what did Donald Trump, you know, what did the left do? They went ahead and they doubled down and they say, look, we don't like Donald Trump. We know he's gonna win. The only way we're gonna get him out is impeach him. Well, they impeached him twice, he's still there. Oh, if we throw him in prison, he's not going to go ahead and be able to run for president. Well, he's already saying if he goes to jail on false pretenses and he wins for president, he's going to go ahead and he's going to pardon himself and he's going to go back into the White House. So that ain't stopping him. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole charade of these indictments is nothing more than a political tool that the Democrats are using to stop him. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why I'm gonna bring out this point. This was not in my notes. This is why I say the Democrat Party is the party of socialistic, communistic ideas. Because again, every time we talk about an indictment, this only happens This only happens in a country where the leader is trying to take out his political opponents because he wants to stay in power. Now, thank God for the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and our way of government. It is hard for a president to go ahead and have the ultimate power. He cannot be Thanos with the Infinity Stones in his hand, because our way of government has a lot of checks and balances. But ladies and gentlemen, for the president, under President Joe Biden, he has, under his administration and under his Justice Department, has indicted a former president twice, and it's going to be a third time in Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, this is mind-boggling. This only happens in socialistic countries, not in America. We're supposed to be a free society. You remember when Trump didn't want to go ahead and be at the inauguration of Joe Biden, and it was saying how Donald Trump was trying to break up the republic and try to break up the democracy, and he was doing all this stuff. He's going to ruin this nation. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to ruin the nation more if Joe Biden continues to do what he's doing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all political, all political. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back in a few moments. How you doing, everyone? Isaac Hayes here, host of Brothers Just Searching and the Cajun Conservative. Are you in the market for a new or used golf cart? Look no further. Cajun Cart has the karting companion you're looking for. Located at 3023 Northwest Avenger Thruway in Lafayette, Louisiana, Cajun Cart is your authorized club car, easy-go, Cushman, and Gorilla dealer. When dealing with Cajun Carts, you're not only purchasing a product or service, but you're also investing in the name. Serving the Acadiana area since 2003, Cajun Cart prides itself in superb customer service, top-notch rental, and best-in-class inventory. Give Cajun Carts a call today at 337-896-3411 or go check out their website, CajunCarts.com, to explore the options for your next karting adventure. Remember Cajun Carts when you're looking for your next golf cart, and tell them Brothers Just Searching and the Cajun Conservative sent you.
Cleansed and made us whole. Not one hoof, not one soul.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the second segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. Continuing on with the thoughts of the Trump indictment, that we had a lot of reaction from the Trump indictment. We had Ron DeSantis say that it's wrong, that the president is weaponizing the DOJ. That came from a direct quote from Ron DeSantis. We had let's see, we had Vicky Ramaswamy. I don't know how to say that. Look, he might have some good policies, but we're gonna have to call him RS or something. I don't know if he wins for a VR or something like that. He said that while it would be easier for him if Trump were no longer in the GOP primary, he doesn't want to win that way. We had a couple of other ones. Now, the big story that came out of these reactions were from Mike Pence, which we found out that Jack Smith, the special counsel looking into Donald Trump, is using notes that were written down by Mike Pence when Donald Trump called. Now, I have the article where Mike Pence was they asked Mike Pence about it and all. Mike Pence said that President Trump should never be president. The thing of it is, Mike Pence, he was president. He would be a president again, but Mike Pence, and look, what I'm hearing and what I see from our interviews, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Pence is still sore at Donald Trump for what happened in 2021, and rightfully so. Okay, I'm not gonna go ahead and give Mike Pence the benefit of the doubt. Some legal experts said he had the right to do something. Some legal experts says no, it was in the water. I remember being on this show where I brought out an example of Thomas Jefferson back when this country was first started. I also brought out an argument when they changed the voting rules where the vice president was just there for a ceremonial role. And I asked the question, well, if it wasn't a ceremonial role, why change the rules for the election? That's just one question I had. But Mike Pence is still sore at Donald Trump. He went ahead and had these notes where when him and Donald Trump were talking, he wrote these notes down. And ladies and gentlemen, it didn't add nothing new to the case. It just showed that Donald Trump still believes that he won the election of 2020. Now, we know that history has played out to where he is not the president of the United States. But Mike Pence, and held to his convictions. I disagreed with his view on it, but he held to his convictions and he did what was right. So you can't argue with Mike Pence on that. But ladies and gentlemen, Mike Pence throwing out right now that Trump should never be president. Trump's this. And look, Chris Christie, I saw his response on this, on what happened. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie also took aim at the former president following the announcement of Trump's third impeachment. The events around the White House from election night forward are a stain on our country, history, and a disgrace to the people who participated. Christie wrote in a tweet, "This disgrace falls on the most on Donald Trump. He swore an oath to the Constitution, violated his oath, and brought shame to his presidency." But Mike Pence, going back, that is Chris Christie's quote. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Christie and Mike Pence going on this anti-Trump train is leading to nowhere. It's leading to a dead end. And look, like I said, Mike Pence has a right to be mad. Mike Pence thought that Donald Trump betrayed him. Mike Pence thought that Trump shouldn't have put him in that position. Look, I can understand why Mike Pence is angry. He was in the Capitol that day. He was fearful for his life. So you don't know what's going on behind it. All you see is Secret Service come and grab you. You don't know what's going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that point, but like I said, Mike Pence going on this, Trump should never be president. Chris Christie saying my whole campaign is to stop Donald Trump. Okay, by somewhere coincidence, Donald Trump does not become the nominee. Look, this is why I say weird coincidence, because it's gonna be either two people that's gonna be the nominee, Ron DeSantis or Donald Trump. And Ron DeSantis, I am a Ron DeSantis supporter, but Ron DeSantis is low in the polls. Do we believe everything the polls say? No, I do not. But you have to understand something here. It's gonna be either Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis, and by somewhere coincidence that it isn't Donald Trump. Just say Donald Trump is not the nominee. Mike Pence and Chris Christie ain't making friends of the Trump supporters. And there's even that, if they even make it to the nominational process, it could be Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump at the end. But ladies and gentlemen, you're not gaining voters this way. You're not the Trump supporters, at least. You're not going to go ahead and get Trump supporters on your side. Now, look, I understand they're running for president. They have to make a statement. And look, Chris Christie's the rhinos of all rhinos, so I don't trust Chris Christie more than I can throw a rock. But ladies and gentlemen, I just don't see Mike Pence what he's doing. Now, look, if he wasn't running for president, speak your mind. I'm not against that. But ladies and gentlemen, I just don't see Mike Pence or Chris Christie staying right there. And look, by somewhere coincidence, Donald Trump drops out. You still got to try to win them voters. Them voters are not going to go to you when you go ahead and backstab their first choice. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't see Mike Pence and Chris Christie going far, but for Mike Pence, and also, okay, like I said, I understand with January 6th, but Mike Pence could he glorified this indictment. He said that this indictment is right and that Jack Smith did a good job. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all political. And look, Mike Pence is somewhat a part of the establishment, but Mike Pence needs to realize something too. If they can do this to Donald Trump, what's going to stop them from doing that to them or him? It's the same thing with Chris Christie. Chris Christie's praising this indictment. What if Chris Christie would become president? And he gets out of office? What would stop the Democrat Party from saying, let's go after Chris Christie next? Ladies and gentlemen, this is all political, but these Chris Christie, Mike Pence, they're so angry for some reason. Well, I can say Mike Pence. Mike Pence has a good reason. But Chris Christie's mad at Donald Trump for some reason. That they would rather have blind intelligence and endorse this indictment instead of look at the truth about it, that this is all political. It's sad. It is sad that we have come to this point. All right, let's move on. So this week also, we had a Devon Archer testify in front of Congress. That transcript has been released. It was 400 some pages. It was released to Fox News Digital today, and I have not got a chance to look at it, but I've read some highlights of what was in the testimony. And ladies and gentlemen, it is just phenomenal of what happened. And look, this confirmed a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about on this podcast, and Dan Bongino and Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro. All these people have been talking about. David Archer, who was a good friend of the Bidens, he was the vice president of the corporation in Bismarck. He sat in meetings where Hunter Biden called his father and said, "Hey, Pop, I'm at a lunch date. You want to say a few words?" And Joe Biden would talk. And Joe Biden would go ahead and tell to some in the Democrat Party, talk about the weather. Like, I believe that more than the man in the moon. But ladies and gentlemen, this confirmed a lot of stuff. Now, we talked last week. This is the same guy that the DOJ asked, "Hey, Judge, when you going to put him in prison?" They came out afterwards and say, "Well, we were just asking the judge for a timeline. We were not asking him to put him in jail. What we really wanted to do was just see when he was going to go to jail. We wouldn't have stopped him from going in front of Congress." Ladies and gentlemen, it's funny. It's funny how Hunter Biden and the DOJ always has an answer for everything. Prime example, remember when Hunter Biden's lawyer called the clerk of court for the Hunter Biden case with the sweetheart plea deal and told the clerk of court, "Hey, I'm a lawyer for the Republican congressman. We messed up on that paperwork. You're going to have to throw that out." When asked, "Hey, did y'all do that?" "Oh, no, we didn't do that. No, Judge. No, Your Honor, we didn't do that." And even with this right here, hey, you know, I've said it's funny, it's a winky dinky how every time Hunter Biden, something going on with Hunter Biden or a whistleblower comes out, that whistleblower is all of a sudden indicted by the DOJ, or they're going to jail and they want to know when he's going to jail. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is damning evidence. This right here showed that Hunter Biden and Joe Biden took money from multiple nations. They went ahead and lied about Biden knowing even about the deal. David Archer, Hunter Biden, Brisbane executive, called D.C. to get the Ukrainian prosecutor fired. That's quote, quote. That's from Fox News. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of stuff came from this closed door session of Congress. Now, ladies and gentlemen, where do we go from here? Well, the Republicans, I'm hoping, after hearing this, will say, you know what, we need to go ahead and start the impeachment inquiry right now. Because Kevin McCarthy said there's a few things that they need to grab that they can't grab because they're being blocked by legal statutes and stuff like that. Impeachment inquiry, they can get all the information they need. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said, they need to do it right. They don't need to rush into this. Just the president being an impeachment inquiry stirs up a lot in the pot. But ladies and gentlemen, this confirmed, this testimony confirms that Biden knew, Biden lied, and Biden helped his son. Because David Archer also went ahead and did an interview with Tucker Carlson. And they were asking him, why did Hunter Biden do this? Why was this all going on? And David Archer said something. He said that was to protect the name brand. Hunter was the guy, like the sales rep that would go sell the product. And he would go ahead and say, you know, you should hire me. You should look into me and my dad to help out run your company. And they'd be like, well, why would we do that? And he'd be like, well, I have close ties to DC. I know how DC works. Also, if my dad, I need to call my dad is available. And I could hear the executives, come on, the vice president, watch. And he would call dad and dad, like, which I like how Dan Bongino said it. Dan Bongino said that they should go look at the Secret Service times or the schedules and see if there's downtime or there was something in the schedule that would time in with those calls, because you can't just call the vice president. You just can't go ahead and willy-nilly call the president. And what if he's doing something? What if he's in a meeting? No, he had to have that schedule. But he would go ahead and, hey, Pop, hey, big guy, it's your son Hunter, and the president would talk, and the vice president would talk, and they'd be like, oh, he got access. So they would go ahead and get it. And look, ladies and gentlemen, good point. Like I said, Dan Bongino didn't think about it until then. How much involved was Barack Obama in this? Because the way that it sounded, David Archer said that, hey, he would get countries signed off by Barack Obama, like Ukraine, China, and all them, and Biden would go look for the worst. Well, I say Dan Bongino, Jesse Waters. They would go look for the worst company, and hey, we can give you our services. Ladies and gentlemen, that is buying off political influence, which you're acting as a foreign agent, which is a crime. This is why we should look into Hunter Biden and focus on Joe Biden. Ladies and gentlemen, this testimony goes ahead and puts the last nail in the coffin, and then they have some more testimony coming out. But ladies and gentlemen, it will go to naught, this testimony, if it isn't brought out to the public. Now, I'm doing my due diligence. To the best of my knowledge, I find the news stories, I bring them out to you, and I give you my opinion of the news stories. But, and look, there's others, Dan Bongino, Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, the Blaze TV, all these people, they go ahead and they do their job and they get the information out to the public. But there's still some in the media that are afraid, either afraid or just don't want to tell you this information. One example, CNN. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is from Breitbart. They titled the article "Total Clown Show." CNN buries Devon Archer, Hunter Biden revelation. CNN buried the story Tuesday of Devon Archer explosive testimony at the White House, the House Oversight Committee, the day before which implied President Joe Biden and his son Hunter influence peddling scheme and suggested the president lied to the country. Ladies and gentlemen, they put out a tweet. Here's the 5 things you need to know today. Trump's poll numbers. U.S. wildfires. Ford F-150 truck recall. U.S. Space Command HQ stays put. U.S. troops in Nigeria. Where is the Devon Archer testimony? Because, ladies and gentlemen, this was a big story, but CNN buried it. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, they can say whatever they want. CNN is not a true news organization. CNN is for the far left. Well, Isaac, Fox News and all the other networks you talked about, they're on the far right. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, they're more right-leaning, but at least they brought out the story. Fox News, I don't like when Fox News does it. I don't like when Fox News says, oh, this could hurt one of our candidates, let's not say nothing. That is not true journalism. And look, I got Tucker Carlson's book where he talked about earlier in the news intro, he got there. It didn't matter what was the political view of the editor. He put it out there because he thought the people needed to know about it. Ladies and gentlemen, if CNN and other news organizations hide this from you, the American citizen, that is wrong. That, to me personally, that's outright lying to you, the American citizen. And look, this is why podcasts and shows like this need to be shared. This is why we need to be told about to spread our fame all over, not for our self-glory, but for us to get the message out there. Why do you think Rush Limbaugh was so great of an influencer? Because Rush Limbaugh did not hold any punches from the left or the right. He told you like it was. That's why he was the greatest radio host for 3 hours a day for 30 some odd years he was on the radio. Because he was a regular person telling you what was going on and he didn't hide no punches. But ladies and gentlemen, CNN, for CNN not to talk about this story shows their hand that they are politically motivated to protect Joe Biden. Because I'm going to ask you a question. What if this was Don Jr.? that did this with Donald Trump? What if this was Bush's kids or some other Republicans' children? Oh, they would have been plastered all over CNN. I tend to agree with Ron DeSantis when he talked to the Daily Caller and he was asked about the tutorial justice system. Ron DeSantis made the statement that DeSantis says Hunter Biden would be in jail by now if he was a Republican. I agree with that statement. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a tutorial justice system. And we just don't live in a tutorial justice system. We live in a tutorial media system. CNN would say that I'm a crackpot. CNN would say that I'm not worthy to be behind this microphone. And look, to some right, I'm not a journalist. I'm not a media personnel. I started this venture 4 years ago doing a Christian podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, but I'm bringing out more truth to you than the CNNs and MSNBCs of the world. Why? Because they're politically motivated. And that is wrong. It is wrong that they're not telling you this story. They're not telling their audience. I'm not going to say you because you are a listener of the show. You are informed. I've been talking about Hunter Biden for the last 4 weeks, I believe. Ladies and gentlemen, this is wrong for CNN. Well, the First Amendment right gives us that right to go ahead and have freedom of the press. We don't have to show you. Yeah, you might not be lying to the people, but not showing them is just as bad as lying. That's my view on that. All right, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take another break. We'll be right back in a few moments. How you doing, everyone? Isaac Hayes here, host of Brothers Just Searching and the Cajun Conservative. Are you in the market for a new or used golf cart? Look no further. Cajun Cart has the karting companion you're looking for. Located at 3023 Northwest Avenger Thruway in Lafayette, Louisiana, Cajun Cart is your authorized club car, easy-go, Cushman, and Gorilla dealer. When dealing with Cajun Carts, you're not only purchasing a product or service, but you're also investing in the name. Serving the Acadiana area since 2003, Cajun Cart prides itself in superb customer service, top-notch rental, and best-in-class inventory. Give Cajun Carts a call today at 337-896-3411 or go check out their website, CajunCarts.com, to explore the options for your next karting adventure. Remember Cajun Carts when you're looking for your next golf cart, and tell them Brothers Just Searching and the Cajun Conservative sent you. All right, everybody, welcome back to the third and final segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. One more point to add from the last segment. You know, some people might listen to this show and say, well, Isaac, aren't you politically motivated? You know, your show is called the Cajun Conservative Show after all. So aren't you politically motivated to talk good about the conservatives and talk, you know, to lift up the right? And you're accusing CNN of doing the same thing. Okay, I am the Cajun Conservative Show. I label myself as a conservative. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're a faithful listener of this podcast, you already know what I'm about to say is true. All you left-leaning people that come in here for 5 seconds and think, oh, we know all about him. Y'all will remember that I've come against Fox News already. I have come against conservatives that have done something stupid. Also, if I hear of a story of something concerning Ron DeSantis or something that's concerning the Republicans, I will come on this microphone and I will press record and I will tell you what is going on and give you my opinion on it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I feel as a podcaster, especially in this realm of podcasting, talk podcasts, I need to try to be as honest as possible with you. And I'm not going to go ahead and hide something that might make my party or my views look bad. Because I will be just as bad as CNN. See, CNN, the difference of it, they see a story that hurts Joe Biden. They don't say nothing. They just, why don't they say nothing? Well, it's going to hurt the presidency. Well, they didn't think about that with Donald Trump. Every chance they got, they blasted Donald Trump. Because they're not news. And even on that point, if I don't say something, 9 out of 10 is because I don't have enough time or I just passed over it with the notes. They have all the time in the world to talk about this, but they don't want to mention. They buried a news story that would make Hunter Biden and Joe Biden look bad, so they shut up on it. And ladies and gentlemen, we know that this has happened all over the media. But on this program, I try my best to give you every story. Even with the Trump indictment. You might disagree with me, but at least I brought it up. People won't go into that much depth of they'll say, well, it's all political. And ladies and gentlemen, I said the same thing, but I told you why a lot of people think it's political. Ladies and gentlemen, CNN is not doing their due diligence. Not whatsoever. And look, I use their articles every blue moon. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't watch CNN. I hardly watch Fox News. But it makes me upset that I'm seeing this right here. All right, let's move on. Ohio Youth Center supports program to teach kids how to be drag queens, the fundamentals of drag. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you might be asking, well, this is a youth center. Who owns this youth center? Well, if I'm not mistaken, this is some type of government building. The Colors Plus Youth Center in Fairview Parks, Ohio, announced that it will host a monthly workshop to show minors how to become drags. Activities such as drag queen story hours and other events, with children have become sources of national controversy over the past few years. The Color Plus Youth Center is such one example. It hosts all manner of LGBTQ themed events aimed to children, such as monthly drag story time that features a drag performer reading an age-appropriate book with positive themes for LGBTQ plus youth, highlighting exclusively creativity and love. The Chinahog Arts and Culture website explains the taxpayer support in November of 2020. Chahoog, Iowa, the county, voters overwhelmingly support issues 8, the penny-and-a-half tax and revenue sources for the arts and culture. The renewed tax provides CAC with funding through January 2027 to invest in the local arts and culture section. The website noted, we welcome 9 new first-time grant recipients in 2022 that include the Colors Plus Youth Facility. Now, so ladies and gentlemen, this youth facility is a government-funded youth facility. They are having drag story hour and teaching kids, young kids, how to become drag. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will say this. And look, a drag going, and I heard another conservative commentator say this, that a lot of these story hours, they had a video of a man dressed up as a woman or in drag and was dancing provocatively in front of children. That is sexualizing children. I'm against that. That should be outlawed, especially if you go into a library. But I'm going to bring this up to the people on the left. I won't say anything about this this youth facility having drag queens come in and teach kids how to be drag. I won't say nothing about it. I can hear all you that's on the part of the Cajun Conservative family. Please don't catch a heart attack. If you weren't sitting down, please sit down and please listen to what I'm about to say. But you on the left, I wouldn't say anything. I would not say anything. If I called this local youth center and tell them that I am a pastor from Louisiana, a youth pastor, I will take my own money and drive up to this youth center, or I will go ahead and I will I will fly out there and give me an hour a week to teach these young people about Jesus and the Lord, and that there's another life out there besides the life of evil. I could hear I'm presuming, but I could hear the recipient on the other line tell me, oh no, sir, we can't do that. Separation of church and state. And this is why I come on here, you leftists, you people that, oh, you're insensitive. Oh, you want the Bible taught. Oh. You on the left, this youth center is teaching kids how to be dragged. But I promise you, let a minister go in there and say, I'm going to preach the gospel, and they will quote separation of church and state. How dare you? Like Goomboro said, how dare you? You want to come and into this government funded youth center and talk about God? And ladies and gentlemen, this is why I say we shouldn't have drag queens in libraries. This is why we shouldn't have drag queens in youth centers. This is why I say we shouldn't have drag queens nowhere near a government facility. Because as they accuse us of going in there and preaching religion, they're doing the same thing. Isaac, they're not teaching religion. No, but they're teaching little boys how to become girls in drag. And they say, we're not after the children. Why? Who in the world would go ahead and allow a drag queen with some children, a perverted individual that goes ahead and twerks in front of other men at bars and do provocative shows? Who in their right mind would go ahead and allow a child to see that? I think you're not promoting love. No, I'm promoting what's right and wrong. And you allowing that is wrong. You should not allow a full-grown man into a youth center, into a library, or into any facility. And a man shows half his rear end to children. That is sexualizing children. That is indecent behavior. But now we have government-funded youth facilities showing children how to go ahead and do it. But like I said, I can hear, I've had this argument already, where I had people, you just want to preach your religion to the children. You don't want the children to live freely and have an open mind. Okay, well, if that's the case, since you can have your story time hour and your drag, hey, like I said, look, hey, if they would give us equal time to go preach to these kids, look, hey, hey, they're giving us equal time. That's their freedom. No, I'm going to call out the hypocrisy in this. The Colors Plus Youth Facility. The center, this youth center, will allow drag queens in there, but 9 out of 10 will not allow a Bible-believing, Holy Ghost-filled Christian to go in there. And that's wrong. That is wrong. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I didn't call the facility. I just said probably if I would call. They were like, no. It's wrong. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm seeing the pictures right here. This is wrong on so many levels. This is wrong on so much levels. And that's just one. Like I said, when I saw this, my blood started bubbling, because you're gonna have a government-funded facility promote drag queens, but 9 out of 10 won't report the Bible. And see, that's what a lot of people. You're presuming. You're making the presumption that they wouldn't let you in there. I know they wouldn't let me in there. And ladies, look, I'm going to use, for example, look how much Kirk Cameron had to fight to get his story hours in libraries. It was a fight. It was a fight tooth and nail. And then when he got there was protesters. Protesters, you're wrong. You're not promoting love. You're not doing that. Let me go to a library where there's a drag queen story hour and put up a sign saying God says there's 2 genders, you would have, look, the cops would be called. I would go ahead and probably spend the night in jail for disturbing the peace for just standing with a sign. I don't know about Louisiana. It depends on. But ladies and gentlemen, see, they have the right to protest. They have the right to speak. But us as conservatives and Christians, we got to shut up. All right, let's move on. So this week, the U.S. credit was downgraded from a AAA to a AA. Now, what is the importance of this? The Fitch ratings downgraded the country's long-term foreign currency issue default rating from the top-rated AAA to AA plus, in a move that could lead to higher interest rates and borrowing costs. It follows a federal government nearly avoiding the default on his debt earlier this summer and several weeks ahead of possible shutdown if the political division Congress fails to come to an agreement on spending for the next fiscal year. Now, Ron DeSantis called out President Joe Biden disastrous economical policies this week that have led to one of the big 3 credit agencies lowering the U.S. state ranking by a tick on Thursday. Florida DeSantis went ahead and quoted from Twitter. Well, I can't say Twitter, X. Downgrading the national credit rating from AAA to AA is a result of feverish spending and balloon national debt for programs like the CARES and Inflation Reduction Act. Florida's AAA rating remains the standard bearer, serving as the national blueprint for financial responsibility. In Florida, we have raised large budget surpluses and have paid off nearly 25% of the state debt. National economics decline is a choice. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ron DeSantis, who is also running for president, made some good points right here. Ladies, if you remember the Biden economics, we talked about the Biden economics a couple of weeks ago, and how President Biden is saying that this economy is one of the best in the world. Our economy is doing it's not suffering. We have more jobs. We have higher wages, which we all proved that was false. I mean, we brought out our theories of why the Biden economics ain't working. Ladies and gentlemen, I just have to ask the question: if the Biden economics were working, why the hell did they downgrade our credit ratio from AAA to AA plus? If our economy in our country is doing so well on the world stage, why would they downgrade a credit rating? Well, I'm going to use an example of you, the person, of your credit score. Unfortunately, early in life, I had to file bankruptcy. And I'm still in recovery of that bankruptcy. I'm trying to build up my credit score. But imagine, okay, I build up my credit score to 700, 750, whatever. And I start taking out credit cards left and right. And look, you know, a personal note, I do have some credit cards, and I've learned through Dave Ramsey and other economic people how to use them. Now, Dave Ramsey, I say Dave Ramsey, there's other ones that I follow. But you have to use credit wisely. To raise your credit score, you have to keep paying the bill. You can't default on your bill or you got to pay the minimum. But if you keep on doing that, keep on getting credit and not paying your bills or keep extending your bill, well, your credit score will go down. And that's what's going on with the United States right now. Oh, Isaac, it just can't be that. It can't be that simple. Well, it is that simple. The Biden administration has spent more money than any administration that I'm aware of right now. Now, I could be wrong. I know. Let me say it like this. They're on pace to spend the most of any administration right now. And ladies and gentlemen, the world is seeing this. How strong will America be in a year or two? Especially when we just went ahead and extended our debt limit, and that same day Biden pledges $1 trillion to some program. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron DeSantis is right. Ron DeSantis is true. This is right. It's President Joe Biden's fault. Isaac, you're a conservative. You're always putting everything on Joe Biden. Well, who else? How we getting all the... But isn't it Congress that goes ahead and spends money? They approve. which the last budget crisis and the extending of the debt, I disagreed with. I don't think they should have done that. Now, it's just not Ron DeSantis, because a lot of people might be saying, well, Isaac, you're praising Ron DeSantis. Hold on. Kevin O'Leary. No way to sugarcoat this. Biden helped cause credit range downgrade. That is from Kevin O'Leary, one of the richest men in this country and one of the most smartest men in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot put this on anybody else's doorstep except President Joe Biden. Now, what does this mean for the country? I'm not an economics major or economic person, so I really don't know all the ins and outs. But ladies and gentlemen, is it good that your credit score goes down? Or it goes down to where you can't get any credit whatsoever? No, it's not. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the problem in America. We're spending way too much money and we're not paying our credit cards. All right, one more story, and I thought this was pretty interesting. I really want to know when this goes on. I would have to go ahead and either DVR it, or I'm going to have to do something that I can watch this. But a while back, Governor Gavin Newsom challenged Ron DeSantis to a debate. Now, if we look at the two states, Florida is at the top of everything good, and the Gavin Newsom California is at the bottom of everything good. Everything bad, California is sitting at number 1. Everything bad, Florida is sitting at pretty much dead last. These two governors right here will be future presidential candidates. Well, one is already now. I'm assuming Gavin Newsom will be a presidential candidate if Biden goes ahead and stays for the next race. We don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, for Gavin Newsom to challenge Ron DeSantis to a debate is laughable, because Gavin Newsom in his mind thinks that his state is the best. Well, Governor Ron DeSantis was on Sean Hannity. You can come on in. Ron DeSantis was on Sean Hannity's program Wednesday night, and Sean Hannity asked him, "What is his answer to what was the answer to Newsom's offer?" DeSantis, being the class act he is, "Absolutely, I'm game. Let's get it done. Just tell me when and where. We'll do it." DeSantis goes ahead and accepts the debate. Now, they are working out the details. Last time I heard, I believe it's going to be hosted by Sean Hannity. So this is what I would recommend Sean Hannity to do this. Get somebody, and he can't ask the guy that used to be there. I can't think of his name. Alero, whatever his name was. But they have other people at Fox that are more left-leaning than others. So what I would do in this debate, and this isn't a presidential debate, just two governors coming together and talk, to go ahead and maybe find somebody that's on the left, or at least the middle, that can go ahead and give, because I like Sean Hannity, but Sean Hannity tends more to the right, and you know, we complain a lot about when MSNBC and others do these type of debates, and they're like, well, the moderator was good to the left-leaning candidate, but not to the right-leaning candidate. Let's be fair. Let's get two moderators in there. Each of them have a chance to ask a question, and they can direct it to any one of them. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why Gavin Newsom would do this. Like I said, in his mind, he is doing stuff that can help California. But like I said, California's at the top of everything bad and at the bottom of everything good. And Florida's the total opposite of California. So, look, to be honest with you, in just my overseeing of this, Ron DeSantis is going to blow Gavin Newsom out the water. Now, like I said, it depends though too, because you look, if Sean, look, I don't doubt Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity has been doing this years, so he knows what to do. I think he's going to be fair. He was fair with Gavin Newsom in his interview, which Sean Hannity is one of the only Republican, one of the conservative talk show hosts to interview Gavin Newsom in that setting. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's going to be this is going to be a highly watched debate. If it's on Fox News, it'll bring numbers numbers up for Fox News. Now, this also helps Ron DeSantis as well, because potentially he could be facing Gavin Newsom later down the road for the presidency of the United States. So this could be a preview of that matchup. But ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a good debate. I should team up with my conservative fellow podcasters and see if we'll watch this together. Find some way to watch this. This is going to be a great debate. I cannot wait to have this done. They're in talks right now, and when that comes out, we will go ahead and probably talk about it later on. But just to give you a heads up, Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom. It's sad to say I'm more excited about this debate than I am for the presidential debate that's coming up. So, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to end this program today. Thank you, as always, for listening to the Cajun Conservative Show or watching the Cajun Conservative Show wherever you're located. Again, remind you, hit that subscribe button, that follow button, depending on the platform you're on. If you're on YouTube, hit the bell. I have not stressed that enough. The bell is your friend. It'll tell you every time we go ahead and go online. Let's get this show growing. Went and looked at FeedSpot the other day. We're sitting at 49th in the rankings for America's top 100 podcasts, according to FeedSpot. So we're excited to be on that list. We're right behind Ted Cruz. So I wouldn't want to be behind anybody else except number one. But anyway, guys, thank you again for listening. Please remember that Jesus Christ is King. He's coming back, and he's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart, because Jesus has overcome the world. If you know Jesus, your Lord and Savior, please reach out to me. I'll tell you how to make Jesus your Savior and heaven your home. Until the next episode, you be blessed. You be encouraged. You have a good one.
He said that Jesus Christ has risen, and he is